Peace, what's going on? Patrick, Conservative Rap. And in this video, we're going to get into the work of the FBI, which I think is phenomenal. It goes to show you, although people are worried the indictments aren't coming fast enough, just take a look at what's happening. In my mind, Kash Patel and the team are getting the job done. Check this out. This has been going on for a long time. I live in New York, and I'm very familiar with this. FBI raids NBA gambling ring tied to Italian mafia. More than 30 people arrested, including Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups and Heat's Terry Rozier. FBI Director Kash Patel on Thursday announced the arrest of more than 30 people across 11 states, including Trailblazers head coach Billups and Miami Heat player Rozier, as part of a takedown of a massive sports gambling ring, which included a poker scheme and a sports rigging. The poker scheme, which used x-ray tables to read cards when face down, wireless devices, and chip rate analyzers, was tied to the Italian mob, La Cosa Nostra. They used the off-the-shelf shuffling machines that had been secretly altered in order to read the deck of cards, predict which player at the table had the best poker hand, and relay that information to an offsite operator. The U.S. Attorney Nakella said. Defendants use other cheating technologies such as poker tray analyzers, which is a tray that secretly reads cards using a hidden camera, special contact lenses or eyeglasses that could pre-read marked cards, and an x-ray table that could read cards face down on while they were on the table. Banana, Gambino, Lucchese, and Genovese crime families were involved. Rozier allegedly used insider information in a sports betting scheme. According to NYC Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, Rozier actually faked an injury to leave a game early to make sure the bets paid out. In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out, Jessica Tisch said during a press conference. Rozier, an NBA player now with the Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with his supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200K in wagers on his under statistics, Tisch said. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. Billups was tied to an underground rigged poker games. Cheating, corruption, laundering have consequences. We've followed the money, and the law caught up, Kash Patel said. And this is NYPD commissioner. In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. Rozier, an NBA player now with the Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know. These charges and arrests were taken down across the country, range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling, and more, Kash Patel said during a presser. The fraud is mind-boggling. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation. Full court fraud and more from this press conference. Also pigged on Twitter here. And to everyone saying the FBI isn't getting the job done, think about it. When you're running an investigation, you don't announce how much of this was announced beforehand that they were looking into this. So just keep this in mind as you start to see others talk about the lack of progress or their just general impatience around conservative circles. Next, let's move on to more work from the FBI. Foreign espionage arrests up 50%. FBI Director Kash Patel said on October 15th that the agency is cracking down on espionage by foreign adversaries with an increase in arrests as high as 50%. We've gone after espionage activities against our main counterparts in China, Russia, and Iran, he said in a press conference. In China alone, we've had over a 50% increase in espionage arrests and prosecutions. In Iran, we had a 50% increase again in espionage cases, and in Russia, we had a 33% arrest in espionage cases alone. State Department employee Ashley Tellis, arrested on October 12th, was accused of removing classified information and meeting with Chinese regime officials. Former State Department Michael Shiena was arrested on March and sentenced on September 4th for conspiring to collect and transmit national defense information to Chinese authorities. In August, 2 Chinese nationals were arrested and accused of smuggling sensitive AI chips subject to export controls. In June, 2 Chinese nationals were arrested on charges of spying. In September, an American national was charged with conspiring to export goods and information that would help semiconductor manufacturing in Russia. In August 6, Taylor Adam Lee, an active duty soldier, was arrested on charges of attempted transmission of national defense information to foreign adversary Russia. In March, 2 Iranian officials were charged with conspiring to supply drones and launder money for the IRGC, a foreign terrorist organization. Patel also said there have been 125 counterterrorism cases this year compared to 100 last year, and he cited an increased disruptions of cybercrime enterprises. This year, you already have 52 arrests. 52 arrests of violent cyber criminals who are stealing from senior citizens, who are violating children's rights and freedoms, and who are violating everyday Americans. U.S. law enforcement, cooperating with UK, announced the seizure of $15 billion in Bitcoin from a Cambodian cyber scam ring on October 14th. This represents the largest ever digital currency seizure by U.S. law enforcement. Chen Zi and his Prince Group conglomerate allegedly engaged in massive wire fraud and money laundering conspiracy via 10 slave labor camp compounds across Cambodia. The scam ring also used networks around the world, and according to the Justice Department, one such branch in Brooklyn was responsible for laundering millions of dollars taken from more than 250 victims throughout the U.S. What more proof do you need? Next, and this is also pretty awesome. This is on Trump and the future of battleships. Check this out.
It's $31 billion. That's enough to buy a lot of battleships, Admiral, to use an old term. I think we should maybe start thinking about battleships, by the way. You know, we have a Secretary of the Navy came to me because I look at the Iowa out in California, and I look at different ships and the old pictures. I used to watch Victory at Sea. I love Victory at Sea. Look at these admirals. It's got to be your all-time favorite, in black and white. And I look at those ships. They came with the destroyers alongside of them, and man, nothing was going to stop. They were 20 deep, and they were in a straight line, and there was nothing going to stop them. And we actually talk about, you know, those ships. Some people would say, no, that's old technology. I don't know. I don't think it's old technology when you look at those guns. But it's something we're actually considering, the concept of battleship. Nice 6-inch sides, solid steel, not aluminum. Aluminum that melts if it looks at a missile coming at it. Starts melting as the missile's about 2 miles away. Now, those ships, they don't make them that way anymore, but you look at it, and your secretary likes it, and I'm sort of open to it. And bullets are a lot less expensive than missiles. A lot of reasons. I should take a vote, but I'm afraid to take that vote because I may get voted out on that one. But I tell you, it's something we're seriously considering. There were powers. There were big powers. They were just about as mean and scary as you could be.
Amazing. And this, of course, just goes into further depth on the same thing. Trump wants new golden fleet of future battleships for hemispheric defense. Again, this is a new reality that we're heading into. You have both at home and abroad, at multiple levels of government, patriots re-traditionalizing America and putting America first. What do you think? Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.